Hello and welcome back to Realm of Thrones, and as you can see we have Jaime Lannister here in the Rhaegar set, not the pauldrons, because the pauldrons were vastly worse than what he's currently wearing, and of course the boots as well. However, I do think they look pretty cool together. I think they actually go really nicely here. The gold little shimmers on the like sleeves of the chest piece, I think that kind of works. And obviously he's wearing the helmet, which in my opinion looks very cool. Now we are using Crab's pincer with him as well, because he was using a sword before, and I thought, well, you know what, I think it might be kind of nice if he tries the axe. And yeah, so that's basically what I've done with that. Otherwise, we are of course using Robert Baratheon's hammer, because let's face it, well, he's not gonna need it anymore, technically. Anyway, so yeah, we are looking really good right now. As you can see, we've got some really nice armor on. I actually wonder, do we have better armor here somewhere? I don't think so, right? I mean, is Rhaegar's armor actually better for us? 57? No, I don't think so, right? Because this is 57, 12, 12, and this is 54, 14, 14. So technically, we have slightly better values. So basically what we need to do is we need to find something that is a legendary. Yes, that's what we ideally need. We need like a legendary chest piece or something. Because as you can quite clearly tell, every single thing that we're wearing right now is legendary, with the exception of my chest piece. So if we can find a legendary chest piece, we are going to be in an insane position. Now, funnily enough, I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm saying legendary almost all the time here. And I'm going to stop that now. So yeah, anyway, this is where we left off. We are the ruler and indeed the owner of King's Landing. So obviously there's a significant amount of militia here, and I'm going to be attempting to take care of it as best as I possibly can. Now, the one thing we've got to do though... Yeah. That's a bit of a problem. I actually kind of forgot about that. We need to give them some food. Yeah, we need to give them some food. Not a terribly big fan of doing that. Not a terribly big fan. But it is my town, so I kind of have to, you know. It is a little bit required here. And you know what? I think... Okay, where's this guy going? He's going to Rosby. Why are you going to Rosby? They don't need help. Look at this guy. He's doing absolutely fine. He doesn't need help. Oh, well. Never mind. I'm going to go to Duskendale because it is extremely close. And hopefully we're going to get some peace agreements going on here. I am hopeful that that House Baratheon actually will make peace relatively quickly. Because if they do make peace, then we can literally just focus on one person and one person alone. And I'm talking about the Vale. And maybe we can make peace with Dawn as well. I don't know. You know. Either one. Doesn't really matter, but we really just want to make sure that we are making peace with at least one of them so that they don't, you know, do that really annoying stuff where they want to basically attack us super all the time. And it's just, yeah, very annoying, very frustrating. So, yeah, Rosby's going to get taken. As you can see, nothing else has been... Oh. Well, this has been taken, apparently, by the North. Oh, by the North, I see. Oh, yes. Oh, very nice. Good work. Good work, Bran. You're certainly not running this faction into the ground or anything like that by declaring war on us. The strongest faction in all the land. Yeah. I mean, whoever would have thought that we'd say that? I mean, maybe you thought that. Maybe I did. I don't know. But all I do know is that Rosby's going to get taken very quickly, and I have to be on the lookout for King's Landing to get under siege. It is probably going to happen, but the thing is, that's the reason why I'm kind of doing a little bit of management right now, because if we do this little bit of busy work right now, we are then going to be having a much better time later on. You know what? Actually, you know, I think we should maybe go over to Harrenhal. Maybe we could even take it. You know what? I actually... Okay, I've got something to say right now, because I was really thinking that we were going to do kind of like a similar thing that we were going to do generally, and that was to just, you know, take down the walls, starve the garrison out, do all that wonderful stuff. But you know, actually, I'm just going to go straight on in. I'm just going to go straight on in. I know, that seems maybe a little bit overzealous. Now, the main reason why I'm doing this is because I looked at the combat strength, then I looked at the composition of the opponent, and I thought, you know, actually, I think we might be okay here. We might be okay. Most notably also because we do have our dragon, and we might be able to, well, basically just eliminate the gate. We might be able to take out the gate. There we go, there's the gate. Okay, that was easy, wasn't it? That was nice and easy. Oh, and I can also do this a little bit as well. Haha, okay, that actually worked. I'm surprised. Usually this kind of thing does not work with me. As you can clearly tell. Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started, okay? Don't even get me started. I'm just absolutely awful with driving this thing. Yes, I know, it's not driving, but I am very, very bad at it. Yeah, it's not my thing, that's for sure. It is certainly not my thing. Okay, yeah, I am gonna get off here. I am gonna get off, and we are gonna do some massive damage with Robert Baratheon's hammer, or at least that's the idea. Hello there. Hello there, friends. I will murder you. Okay, here we go. What's actually going on with Wound's athletics skill, by the way? Why is he gaining athletics right now? Didn't he have maxed out athletics before? I thought he did. That's kind of weird. Alright. Not sure what to make of that. These guys are literally just blocking 100% of the time. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. Do I actually slash through with this? Or no? I think I do a little bit. Because obviously it's a blunt weapon, right? It's a blunt weapon. It's not actually like a slashing weapon, technically, even though it is kind of classified as an axe. But I gotta say, I like it. I like it a great deal. It is absolutely fantastic to use. And as you can see, look at how easy this was. This was so much easier than expending all of that time and effort, actually, in getting the walls down, starving out the garrison, you know, all that wonderful stuff that we are always doing in the sieges. And I feel like this has actually saved us so much time, and we're not really losing anything for this action. Are we? Are we losing anything? Yeah, we lost 6 people. I mean, generally, we might have lost that amount. But to me, this seems... I don't know. I feel like this seems like acceptable casualties. I don't think we really need to worry too much about it. And I'm literally just going to zoom the rest as we are done. And I gotta say, I'm very, very pleased. Very, very pleased that we were able to do that so incredibly easily. Look at that, 200 renown, very nice. I actually don't even know what what clan tier we are. I'm pretty sure we're clan tier 6, but I wouldn't know. I have literally not looked at that for quite some time. Oh, we're going to be letting him go. All right, nice, very good. That was a guy from the Riverlands. Yes, okay. Let's actually just see here whether they have anyone that is of interest. Oh, they do. Some Corsairs. We've got a mountains man. All right. And we got some of these guys. These guys are not going to be particularly good. What about this? These guys become mountains men, so why not? Might as well take them. Tyroshi renegades. We know that they are not particularly good. These fellows are actually not so good either. What about the man-at-arms? They do eventually become mountains men, so we will take them. Tyroshi quartermaster, we know them. They become good things, and that is all we're going to take. There we go. All right, so someone actually told me, thank you very much, someone told me in the comments that there is a new source of troop. Yes, there is a new troop source in King's Landing itself, and we are going to be making our way over there in just a second. Let me just place a load of money in here. Well, not a load, but a decent number at the very least. And yes, we should go back to King's Landing and actually see what's going on there, because I'm intrigued. If we have a way of gaining, gaining units that is, not necessarily requiring me to do anything specifically super, annoying or, traveling a long distance away, then I am very intrigued and very, very pleased to see something like that available for us. So, yeah, Bronze Gate is actually being attacked right now. That's actually fine. All we need to do is make sure, traveling to Ramsgate to defend. Wow, is this the north, actually, that is doing all of this? I actually can't tell. Huh. Okay, well, is it, wait a minute. Are these guys actually recruitable right now? Or is this is the keep? Ah, no, these are not recruitable. Never mind. These are literally vassals. Okay, I thought I was in the tavern for a second. I'm not entirely sure why. Anyway, let's speak to Sir Ronald. I believe this is the guy that we need to speak to about the wonderful new units. Yes, there we go. Look at this. I need more men for my personal retinue. Can you show me your KINGSGUARD candidates? Of course, Your Grace. How many do you need? Okay, so how many do I need? Well, are you serious that it's only 50,000? That's literally the cheap. That is so cheap. Is that just me? Is that just me that thinks that that is extremely cheap? I don't know. For this point in the game, I feel like that's very, very cheap. But obviously, I'm not really doing very well in terms of my cash, so I really shouldn't be saying anything about the cost. And do bear in mind that these fellows are recruits level, as far as I'm aware. They are very low level, so they are not going to be exceptional when it comes to being able to inflict any kind of damage or take damage for that matter either. Alright, so we're going to keep 58 of these KINGSGUARD pages, and we're obviously going to try to level those up into captains of the KINGSGUARD, because these guys are obviously crazy good. They are maybe the best unit that we've seen, because they have 270 in athletics, which is pretty amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, the recruits, they are tier 2. I've placed a number of them in the garrison at King's Landing here, just as a deterrent. Nothing super dramatically powerful here. I could technically recruit another 300 of these guys and slap them in the garrison there, but I don't really see the point in that at the moment, so we're just going to leave it for now. And we're going to see maybe there is a bit more of a need for harsher defenses there or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. We are still dealing with Dawn, as you could see there. And indeed, we are still dealing with the North. The question is, do we want to make peace with the North? How are we doing here? We have support for making peace with the House Baratheon, and we have support for making peace with the North, and we have a little bit of support for making peace with the Vale, but I'm never making peace with them, I'm sorry. There is no way in a million years I will be doing that. So, you know what I really want to do? I really want to go over to Iron Islands and literally just murder them, but I can't do that. So we're going to have to go over to Dawn and capture a couple of those things, and well, yeah, that's gonna have to be the thing that we try to do here. I would like, if we can, I'm not sure if this is even going to be possible, but I would love it if we could level up our KINGSGUARD recruits as fast as possible and get them into a spot where they can actually start contributing to the army in some meaningful fashion. Anyway, there's 967 here, pretty significant garrison, and they do have some decent-ish units, so I am going to wait for the food to run out. Okay, so it looks as though our vassals do want to make peace with the North, and, you know, yeah, sure, you know, it's not even going to cost me, I mean, that is actually quite a significant amount, to be honest, to disagree with them, but I'm actually fine with this, even despite being completely livid that they decided to do this in the first place. I think it's probably a decent idea, just purely so we can get one of the enemies off our back, and then we don't have to really worry so much about our vassals charging into a far away land in the north somewhere, and yeah, spending their time doing random things up there. It would be quite nice if they could be a bit more streamlined, a bit more tactical, a bit more precise with their movements, but unfortunately they don't seem to really like doing that. Alright, so we're going to give a sow into this guy, a Traeger or Mullen, and we also have, I think, yeah, there's another siege going on over there at Darry. I unfortunately don't have a huge amount of information available to us at this point because, well, it's locked. Because that's the way it is. Unfortunately. I don't know why. You know what? I complain about this quite often. So you know what I'm going to do? I think I will, if I remember, that is, I think I will take a look and see if there is a mod that unlocks the camera during sieges. Because, no offense, but I just don't think that should be the case. I think you should be able to see that kind of stuff, but I don't know, maybe there's reason behind it, you know, maybe there's like a balancing reason or something like that, which is probable, let's face it, there is probably a balancing reason behind it, but I feel like it's just not, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't feel necessary. I don't know, is that just me? Maybe it's just me. Anyway, the enemy should be pretty easily dispatched. Okay, it seems like most of them, oh wow, this is actually kind of crazy. I wonder if I can actually, oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, that actually worked. I'm surprised. Usually, I'm absolutely terrible with using the dragon, as we've seen multiple times in the not too distant past. And yeah, I'm literally just going to get off because I want to use my hammer. And I got a little bit stuck there because my dragon was blocking me. That's quite funny. All right, where are these guys going? Where are you going? Where are you going, friends? Where are you going? Are you literally... Oh, okay, apparently I'm not going to be doing that much damage to them. And... Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Quite a significant number over there. Okay, so the question remains, what is going on with Woon Woon's athletics? Because as far as I'm aware, I thought he had, well, basically maxed out athletics, but he apparently doesn't. Let's take a look at that after this, actually, because I thought he was done in regards to his combat skills. But maybe not. So if that is not the case, then we do need to figure that out and see what we can do to help him. Try to get him back up to scratch. Because it seems a bit weird that he would be a giant and not have a massive amount of athletics, right? Because that's going to provide him with so much additional HP. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure what their stats are anymore. I don't know how much HP they actually have in general as a baseline or anything. But I'm sure it's enormous. Yeah, so I'm sure they have like, what, 500 HP or something along those lines? That's probably going to be the case. And yeah, I just find it a little bit weird, as you can see right here, that Talisa has 175 athletics, but Woon Woon has less than that. But I guess because he is a giant, he's pretty big, right? So I just haven't seen him level up athletics any time before this, and he's been getting so many kills. So it kind of makes me a little bit weirded out, and I'm kind of questioning what's going on with him. So we're going to take a look at that in just a second. 76 renown for us. Let's hope that King's Landing hasn't gotten taken, because I have obviously been here and I wasn't able to look at it. So let's just hope that it's all good. This is a guy from Dawn. The question is, do I want to let him go? Because we're going to make peace with them? Yeah, sure. Why not? I am assuming it's going to be happening at some point. So yeah, let's just let them all go. I think we're probably going to be making peace with them relatively quickly. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. And we're otherwise just going to be taking all of these guys, because these fellows, this is a town, of course. This is a town, so this is going to be great. So we're going to have a nice, easy time selling all of this stuff. I could technically donate. Yeah, that's actually what I could do. I could donate a lot of my armor and stuff like that to the cause of leveling up all of my recruits. And that would actually make a lot of sense. So we will probably be doing that in just a moment. Let me just sell all of this, and then we're going to go and ransom a huge amount of stuff. Oh yes, here we go. All right. This is actually kind of ridiculous how many lords we have in our party here. Okay, so there we go. Let's just get rid of all these. Not the Thunder Knights. There we go. That's 36,000. That's another 2 roguery points. Not bad. Not bad if I do say so myself. Okay, so let's get a handful more of these captains. Yeah, we'll do that. There we go. Let's take a look at our inventory now, because what we can actually do is we can go over to here, and then we can literally sort by this, and then we can literally do things like this. Look at this. I'm not sure if this is worth it, though. Is this actually worth it? Because think about how much experience we're gaining from this. We're only gaining 39,000. And I just lost a significant amount of cash. Or at least I think so. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I mean, we are making fundamentally, our army is getting stronger. It's getting much, much stronger as a result of this. So maybe it's actually worth it, because I don't know. The thing is, I just don't have that much cash. I only have 500,000, which, to be fair, is actually quite a lot when you first start the game, but at this point, we're in the late game. We do not want only to have 500,000. That is not going to, you know, work out too well. Anyway, let's have a look at Rindoon right here, because obviously, as I said to you before, we'd like to get her to join us. So we're going to send a raven to her. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at King's Landing. It's absolutely fine. Duskendale, for some reason, is being taken back. That is not allowed. I'm sorry, House Baratheon. That is not allowed at all. I will be attempting to take that back, I suppose, in the very near future. Well, this is pretty crazy. Look at what we've got going on here. Yeah, I basically just defeated an army that was attempting to take one of our fiefs, and look at the amount of experience our troops are going to be getting from this. Absolutely insane amounts of stuff. So I am, and have been, clicking for I don't even know how long. At least a few minutes. I think probably 1 to 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I don't know. And I've just been clicking and clicking and clicking. And it's actually quite funny, because I think probably, there we go, okay. I think maybe I should have just sorted by, you know, numbers rather than anything else. But yeah, we want to level up as much as we can. So this is where we currently are. Yeah, look at this. I literally just made it here. Just about. Look at that. 7 defenders remaining. Absolutely insane. What's actually going on here? Am I over the cap? Oh, I'm over the limit. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm actually over the limit right now. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, so Yamina is here. As you can see, we do have 33 relation with her, and we are going to say, candidly, what do you think of your liege, Bran Stark? Is she really? Come on now, you're not really happy, are you? Well, yeah. That's what happens, you see. That's what happens when you don't have enough money at the time when you actually want to get a particular fief and or clan to join you. Okay. I don't really want to give her any money, because it's basically pointless. Well, this is ironic, isn't it? Look at this notification on the right side of the screen right there. Bran Stark of the North is once again declaring war against us, despite our vassals saying that we should make peace with them. Yes, we should treat them with the uttermost care and respect, and yeah, screw that. We are going to murder them. Oh, yes. Well, not right now, but sometime in the near future. And Jorah is on his way to where? Tumbleton. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Okay, that's good. Hopefully he's going to have a decent enough time there. We're getting a peace offering from Baratheon, and you know, funnily enough, I actually think we might take that in the near future. I actually don't know whether we'll take that in this episode. We might actually do that after the Siege of Stony Sept itself. This is, well, this is obviously a House Baratheon fief, and, well, they probably don't want to lose it. That's probably the reason why they're offering us peace right now. But the funny thing is, once again, this is the reason why in every future series, if I can, I'm going to be installing diplomacy. Because I don't want situations like this to happen again, where we literally, you know, are trying our hardest. We're doing absolutely the most that we possibly can to make our faction succeed. And then, against all odds, we have our vassals basically shooting themselves and us in the proverbial feet. That's exactly what they're doing. That is literally exactly what they're doing, which is not exactly great. And for me personally, I would love to see if... I mean, obviously I do kind of know that that would make a difference, but yeah, generally I feel like it would be very, very useful. I can't believe I actually landed on the battlements. That's actually hilarious. Okay, oh, no, oh, really? Okay, yeah, my dragon was blocking me. Don't know whether you could see that, but yeah, my dragon was blocking me right there. Kind of a bit saddened by that, but that's okay, because as you can see, we got the gates down. Completely and utterly destroyed. Now I can go to town on these guys. Hello there. Oh yes, you have no idea what is about to befall you, friends. I am here. I am here with Bobby's hammer. Yes. Let's do this. Okay, there we go, there we go. Very nice, very nice. The only thing that this weapon does not have is reach. Yeah. That is the only thing that I am missing from this at all. Now, obviously, this is an extremely high damage weapon, and that is, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why you would want to use this, just purely because it does so much damage. I basically could just hit anyone that I wanted to, even maybe even a very, very high armored target, and they would probably die. They would probably die in one hit. Because this literally has like 180 base value, and the base value is also blunt damage. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, blunt damage has the highest penetration value of any damage type in the game, even piercing damage. Piercing damage is still good against highly armored targets, but it is less good than blunt damage. Basically, how it works, if you don't know, I'm gonna, explain just in case you're new to the game or something like that. I don't know, maybe you are. The point is, slashing, right? Cutting damage. Cutting damage is usually high damage, but low penetration, right? So low penetration, meaning it is good against low armor targets, but not so good against high armor targets. Then you have piercing damage. Piercing damage is kind of the middle of the road kind of thing, where piercing damage is decent against, high armor targets, and, well, you don't really need a large amount of, base value damage to do, one-shots against peasants or anything like that, which is obviously a big deal. Because that's the thing that you have to remember, that generally it's not necessary to be super powerful against peasants or against low tier units, just purely because, as you know, they're peasants. They literally don't have that much armor on, and they're very easy to kill as it is. So even if you were to, use a piercing weapon or anything like that, it doesn't really make any difference at all. There's really no need to be super careful about what kind of damage type you're using. I would highly recommend, though, if you are going to try and choose between damage types, I would recommend trying it out for yourself, because there are some insanely fun ways of playing. Basically, I'm talking about, you should try out a cutting weapon, and then against the same enemy type. So if you're, for example, at war against someone, right? If you're at war against someone, so let's say you're playing the base game and you're at war against the Azerai or something like that. Let's just say that. Then you go and you use a cutting weapon against their highly armored heavy infantry or whatever. And you see exactly how much damage you're going to deal. Obviously, this is not going to be the case for two-handed, long-reaching polearms or two-handed swords or anything like that. Anything like that that's like really, really strong and really powerful in general. That has a high base value, because most of the time a high base value is just going to kill no matter what. Doesn't matter about the penetration or anything like that. However, if it is a more middle-of-the-road kind of damage profile on that particular weapon, then you're really not gonna need that. You're gonna just have the the higher penetration is obviously going to help you against those higher protective values. But then you have the blunt damage, right? Blunt damage is my favorite personally. And the reason why it's my favorite, with the exception of obviously the large polearms and the big two-handeds and all that stuff, because I actually very much appreciate playing with those. But generally, blunt damage is my favorite just purely because it has the capability to pretty much kill anything in the entire game. And I should say kill with a smattering of, caution. Because technically, it doesn't kill. Yes, blunt damage doesn't really kill that often, if at all. Very much dependent on what mod you're playing, or if you're playing the base game or anything like that. That really does make a big difference. Oh, hello. Hello there, sir. Oh, you're actually the leader. Okay, can I actually ask him? I will not listen to such matters. Yes. See, now this is another one of those things. Unfortunately, the developers of Bannerlord decided that they wanted to change the way that you interact with enemy vassals. And I gotta say, I'm actually a little bit saddened by it, to be honest, because it was very, very fun to be able to do that beforehand, where you could literally go and speak to the leader of an army, right? You could speak to the leader of an army and you could be like, hello there, would you like to join my faction? And then when you're, speaking to him, he'd say yes, no, and then you'd go on about your business. But now, here's the thing. The main problem is the fact that now it's a little bit, difficult to get them into situations like that. So generally, it's difficult to get them alone, because they're always going to be in an army of some kind, right? They're always going to be in an army of some, predilection or another. And that's the thing. Then you're unable to converse with the enemy, basically enemy vassals that have the potential to join you, and they have fiefs. And that's the thing. If they have a fief, you obviously want them to try to join you, because then you're going to be getting it yourself, and they're going to potentially join your faction in the process. And in my opinion, that is fundamentally super, super fun. That is probably one of the most fun things that you can actually make happen in the game, where you basically persuade an enemy to join, and then they bring their fiefs to you. In my opinion, that's super amazing and super fun, and it really makes you feel like you're getting massive value out of your trade skill. Or should we say not trade skill, charm skill. Massive value out of your charm skill, and that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? You want to feel as though the investment that you've had over the course of the game, leveling up your skills in some way or another, you want that to feel like it's actually helping you. You want it to feel like it's actually useful in comparison to what it actually ends up being, which is most of the time not very good at all. For example, charm skill, yes, absolutely can be very, very useful. For example, persuading neutral vassals or people that are not at war against you. Yeah, that's fine. But generally, it does feel to me that relation plays much more of a role than charm skill does. But I could be wrong about that. I haven't done really an extensive amount of testing on that. I do know that relation definitely has a pretty big role to play. But I'm not sure about charm skill personally, because we already, by the time we tried to persuade people in this series, I already had a significant amount of charm skill. So, you know, I had like, what, 250 or 275 or something along those lines. So it was very, very simple. Oh yeah, that's actually one thing I need to check. We are going to have a look at Woon Woon now. I forgot about him. Alright, so the question is, are we going to be making peace with the North anytime soon? Because as you can see, they are from the North. You know what? I'm actually going to take them prisoner. I am going to take them prisoner. Maybe not this guy? Yeah, no, not this guy. Let's see if we can maybe get him, right? We might be able to persuade a couple of people. There we go. Let this guy go too. Because I'm thinking that if we have more relation with this guy than Bran does, we might very well be able to persuade them to join us, which would be pretty fun, in my opinion. We also have some Northern Mounted Warlords here, which is very good. Oh yes, give me all of those, thank you. And then we also have a bunch of prisoners coming to join us here, which is great. There we go, absolutely perfect. King's Guards, there we go, using our horses for good effect as well. Very, very nice. And we are now in a very good position, because look at my prisoners. We've got so many really, really good prisoners right here. And yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just take the most. There we go. 41,000. 41,000 going to our people here. Another 28 level ups. Absolutely fantastic. And there you go. Alright, so let's actually see what's happening right now. So, as you see, Jorah is taking Tumbleton. And... well, not much. Oh, hello. What has happened over here? Apparently this got taken. Alright. Not sure how that happened, but okay. Yeah, the owner of Stony Sept. Who is that going to be? It's going to be Mr. Traegar. Okay, obviously perfect. Alright, so yeah, there you go. That's going to be it for this episode. We've been doing some pretty nice progression here. And I think, you know what? Apart from the fact that there are so many castles along the way, I'm not a big fan of all the castles, to be honest, but, you know, generally, once these castles are out of the way, we should be easily capable of taking these towns. Actually, you know what? Let's take the towns first, shall we? Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.